Today we're going to start off in Plaza del Charco and we're going to take a little walk around to take a look at the street art that brightens up the town really. The starting point, like I say, is Plaza del Charco. Everybody knows where Plaza del Charco is, and we're going to walk into the older part of Puerto de la Cruz, which the locals refer to as La Rainilla. Now the street art project started in 2014 and it began as part of the Mueca festivals. More murals were added during 2015 and 2016, and there are some that have been added as late as 2021. So we're making our way from the Plaza del Charco, past the taxi rank there, and we're going to take a left into Calle San Felipe, just so that you can get your bearings to see where we're going. Now we are only going to be looking at the official street art project this time. We are aware that there are some other bits of street art in other parts of the town, but we are looking at the main pieces that formed part of the project that was authorised by the town council. So as we pass the Aldesa supermarket there on the right hand side, this is Calle San Felipe that we're in now, and we're going to take a right just here past the supermarket. For anybody that is on the little man hunt, and if you don't know what I mean by that, please refer to our website and look for little men. There's a hint that there is one just along this road here, so if you're looking for one, you will find one along there. Now the street art is painted on the side of buildings. The town council don't issue a licence for it to be painted on the front of buildings, only on the side. So you will need to sometimes look up to see if you can see some of these pieces. But we all have free access to this work. It's amazing. It brightens up the town of Puerto de la Cruz and it makes it quite unique as well. So as we head down here, we're going to come into Calle Mequinez. If you turn to the right here, it will take you down to the Muelle or down to the port. But we're going to take a look here at our first piece. Now we've included a little street map for you. If you want a copy of this street map, it is available in our ebook, which is available to purchase for a small fee. Now this is our first piece and it's called Border to Paradise, and it was painted by the artist Victor Ash in 2014. And it represents a living mesh or a fence created by humans, as you can see. And it's highlighting how social and economic inequalities prevent some people from reaching paradise. Fantastic, magnificent piece. Just opposite there is the Rum Rum Run, a Bottle of Rum by artist Roberto Roro, painted in 2014. And you can see he uses Playmobil figures in that. This is an official art piece, the gentleman there lighting the lamp, but it's always worth mentioning him. You can look out for him as you walk along Calle Mequinez. So the next piece we come to, you will need to look back over your shoulder because you will miss it if not. And this is La Macaronesia, and this was painted by the artist Ica Mural in 2014. And this piece is inspired by psychedelic surrealism, Pink Floyd and Dali. So it's a very bold, colourful piece. Which the artist describes as a vibrant mix of pop elements. Carrying along the same street, we're going to come to the next piece, which is a largish piece by the artist Sebas Velasco, painted in 2016, and this is called Rebellion of the Dreamer. It's a wide-angled nighttime view showing a young man, a dreamer, against a backdrop of Puerto de la Cruz. It's a nighttime backdrop of Puerto de la Cruz, with its hotels and tourist apartments. And it addresses really and reflects the influence of the tourists on the development of the Canary Islands and Puerto de la Cruz. This next piece is a new piece, relatively new, painted in 2021 by local artist who's currently living in La Laguna. He's called Victor Seus, and I think it kind of represents really what Puerto de la Cruz is about, the fishing village, the fishing boat there in the background, fishermen in the foreground. So we'll carry on along here at Calle Mequinez. This is a good street if you're looking for little men. And again, like I say, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please refer to our website. And we're going to take a look at this very large piece. and it's probably best to view it from the higher car parking area next to the port, because then you can see the full extent, the whole mural from that side. From this side, from street level, you really do only see part of it. And this is called Strength Lies in the Roots, and it was painted in 2014 by an artist who uses the alias The Paintings Boy, but his real name is Raul Ruiz. And as we get a bit closer, you can see that he uses a lot of elements that represent the Canarian culture. He also couples it with quotes. His painting and his work is combined with quotes and poems. So you can see there on the right hand side, a gentleman dressed, a Canarian farmer dressed in a cloak, typical of the attire they would wear. The hibiscus flower also features, which is a common plant around Puerto de la Cruz in particular. Making our way across the square then to Calle Mequinez. And we're going to take a look at the next piece, which is called The Urban Warrior. And this has been painted by two artists, painted in 2015 by the artists Pichi and Avo, who have worked together since 2007. And it actually features a Greek statue over a background of graffiti. And I have to say, when I first looked at this, I did think that it had been defaced by the graffiti, but the graffiti is actually supposed to be there. So it's classical of their style of work, sort of combining classical art with contemporary urban art. So that's The Urban Warrior. Making our way along Calle Mequinez. Nice little street this. These plant pots and plants are tended to by the vecinos or the neighbours. So it makes it quite a pretty little street. We're going to turn left here briefly. These two gentlemen painted on the wall here, these aren't official pieces, but as we're passing by, we thought we'd just pick up on them as well and let you see those, but they aren't official pieces. And as you see, they're painted on the front of the building, which would indicate they aren't official as well, because as I said before, it's on the side of the building that paintings are displayed and have been given licenses. So we're going to make our way past the bins. A bit unfortunate that they're there, but they have to be somewhere. And we're going to take a left now into Calle Mequinez. We're going to make our way along Calle Mequinez. There's two pieces here that we're going to take a look at. The first one is by local artist Juliana, and this was painted in 2014. And this is entitled, If You Can Dream It, You Can Create It. Now, Juliana is well known in Puerto de la Cruz. She's a native of Puerto de la Cruz. She's a photographer and she's a tattooist, but she is also responsible for a lot of the little paintings that you see around the door frames of the houses, of a lot of the old houses in the town, in the old town area of Puerto. And with this piece of art, she blends the two stories of the 1001 Nights and the Little Mermaid. And it really is a magical piece, full of colour. We're going to carry along Calle Mequinez to another piece here, which was painted in 2021. So this is a relatively new piece, and this is called The Founders, and it is painted by a Ukrainian artist whose name I'm not going to, well, I will attempt to say it, I think, Alexei Berdasov. He was born in Kiev, and it depicts, it's kind of inspired by an old shield of Puerto de la Cruz, and it's populated by imaginary creatures that really kind of look as if they're on the move. So moving away from that piece, we've turned left now into Calle San Felipe. The Founders piece there is on the corner of Las Mequinez, Calle Las Mequinez and Calle San Felipe. And we're making our way now along Calle San Felipe towards the recently rebuilt church here on the left. And we're going to walk down beside the church here into Calle La Peñita. And this piece here, high up on the wall, is called Island Memories, and it was painted by the artist Dolk in 2014. Looks a little bit worse for wear, this piece, unfortunately. Seems the weather has caught it. It seems to be flaking quite a bit. But you can see from looking at it that the central piece there is a puffing bird. And the idea of this piece is that it represents the artist's own journey from his hometown of Vik in Iceland, or from a small fishing town on the coast of Ireland called Vik, and his journey to Puerto de la Cruz, and he's linked them together in the form of a puffin lost on the coastline of Puerto de la Cruz. So continuing along Calle La Peñita, we're making our way, we've come a full circle actually. You can see in front of us the square there, and we came from that square when we first looked at the Urban Warrior. We've come around a big circle, and now we've made our way to Calle El Lomo. This is a really pretty little street. And we're making our way to the next piece, which is known as The Peasants, and this was painted in 2014. And as you get a bit closer, you'll be able to see there that the artist has signed it 3TT Man. So the artist is actually Louis Lambert, but he is a French man, and he has signed it 3TT Man because he is actually known as Trois Têtes Man, the three-headed man. And this is actually a self-portrait by the artist, as it contains figures of himself together with his wife and his son. We're going to continue along Calle El Lomo to look for our next piece. As we come along this street, just to the left-hand side here, this piece is called Volatile Ships, and it's by the artist Fail Flip, painted in 2014. He's actually from Lanzarote, this artist, and this depicts a man in a boat who seems to be about to row, and you can see a little child there. He's sitting on the bow of the boat there, observing the direction that the boat's actually going to go towards. Carrying along anyway, through along Calle El Lomo. This piece isn't titled, it doesn't have a title, but it's by the artist Roa, painted in 2014. And it's just in black and white, which is what he's best known for. He does a lot of his work always in black and white, lots of detail. As you can see, it's got animals and insects, and the idea behind it is that his message is that he wants to return animals to the natural habitat before the concrete world, buildings, roads, whatever, invaded their space. Interesting that this piece is on the wall adjacent to the Archaeological Museum of Puerto de la Cruz. Some irony in that, I would say. Very dark piece, not one of my favourites, but each to their own. Just opposite that then is a far more colourful piece, and this is called The Unexpected Journey by the artist Liquin. And this was painted in 2014. You can see that he's signed it just below that big earthenware pot, and that earthenware pot there is in reference to the Guanches, the natives of the Canary Islands. They use those pots in their rituals a lot, linked to the cycle of life, and they used them in everyday life as well, transporting liquids and grains. We'll carry along Calle El Lomo. Now you'll see in front of us here that that's the Altesa, so we did walk past that right at the beginning of our journey, so we've more or less come a full circle. And we're going to turn right here at the end of the road because we are going to make our way towards Calle San Felipe. And I think I might have mentioned, if you're looking for a little man, this is a good area to see if you can find one. And if you do wonder what I'm going on about, please do refer to our website and look for the Little Men videos and information there. It's something else that you can look out for whilst you're walking around enjoying the street art. So this is Calle San Felipe that we're turning right into now. And we're going to take a walk along here to rather a large piece painted high up on the wall on the right hand side. Now as we walk along here, this building that we're coming to with a sort of balcony on the right there, that is the back of the Archaeological Museum, Puerto de la Cruz Archaeological Museum. So we've come round to the back of that, That's worth popping into if you do get some time. You do have to go through the entranceway in Calle Lomo. We'll take a steady walk across along here, Calle San Felipe, and on the corner here, up on the wall, is a piece called Ritual. And this was painted in 2014. And it was painted by the artist Mateus Mata, who's from Gran Canaria. But he does have an alias, Sabotaje al Montaje, and that is what the signature is, that's what he signed it as. This is a picture of Chercho Daughter. He was a defender of the Canarian traditions and roots. And you will see from this painting that there is a goat in the painting, and it refers to the Day of San Juan and the still ongoing annual tradition of the bathing of the goats that takes place down in the harbour area on the day following the San Juan, when the fires are lit on the beaches. Moving from this piece, we're going to go turn off Calle San Felipe and take a left up here into Teobaldo Power Street and make our way to this piece that is actually untitled, but it's by the artist Cobb, and it was painted in 2014. The artist began his painting career in his hometown of Puerto de la Cruz, so he's from Puerto de la Cruz. And it does depict sort of animals and vegetation in bold colours. He uses a lot of bold red, green and blue in this particular one, but he does like bold colours. Although he signed it Cobb, his real name is actually Victor Pacheco. So we carry along Calle Teobaldo Power, make our way. We're coming more or less towards the end of our journey now, but we're going to turn left here into Calle Puerto Viejo. I'm going to take a look at this piece called Eternal Youth by the artist Berlin. And as you can see, this shows the face of a sailor, burnt on one side, I suppose, from the sun and the sea, the sea's thought, and on the other side, a reflection of the sea as he looks out towards it. He's holding a little boat there as well, and that looks that has references to travel and the rest of the world. We carry along Calle Puerto Viejo. As we move along this street, this is leading us down into Plaza del Charco. On the right hand side, we will pass the local public library, just there on the right. Worth going in to have a little look round. That's different to the English library, which is up in the Darrow. And up on the wall here, high up on the wall, is this large piece. And this is entitled There Are Canarians and Canaries. And this was painted by Martin Ron. He was assisted by a fellow artist called Skippy. It does show a hand with two crossed fingers and canaries perched on those, canary birds that is, perched on those fingers. So like I say, this is Calle Puerto Viejo. We're making our way down to the Plaza del Charco. So we've come a full circle. We started off here at the beginning of our journey, and we're going to turn right and we're going to take a look at our last piece. And this isn't actually a painting, this is a mosaic, but it's a unique piece, so it's worth looking at, and it was created in the 1960s, and it is the oldest of the murals in the town, created by artist Manuel Fernandez Padron. It's huge, it measures 14 metres in height and 4 metres wide. And if you look at it closely, there are several clues linking it to the world of Freemasonry. Very impressive piece up on the wall there. So this is where our journey ends. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of the street art. And please do remember, we do have a little booklet that you can download for a small cost to give you some more details about everything that we've looked at today.